Hello, my name is Larry, and I have spent way too much time researching fictional characters such as Superman, Batman, and 100 others. And I would like to share that with you now, starting with my favorite team ever, the JSA. Who are they? Let's find out. Hi, Larry from Earth 2 here. That's why I have a mustache and a different shirt. Your Larry actually jumped right into the individual characters and forgot to tell you who this team really is. And that's why I'm here, to fill in the blanks. The JSA stands for the Justice Society of America. They are the very first superhero team, and they were introduced in the 1940s. So if you ever wondered, hey, if Flash and Green Lantern are friends, why don't they call up their buddies to help them when they're fighting a bad guy? This is the reason. The first on my list is the Atom. No, not this red and blue tiny Ant-Man equivalent to the DC Universe. I'm referring to the first Atom, Al Pratt. He was a very short ex-boxer with no powers, had the absolute worst outfit of all time, and then later on gained super atomic punch powers, because he needs something to spice him up. Dr. Fate, real name Kent Nelson. The helmet he wears holds the spirit of Naboo. Naboo is an ancient Egyptian sorcerer. Being Dr. Fate kind of sucks, because you kind of have to do whatever he says. He keeps the scales of order and chaos in check, and he is basically DC's Doctor Strange. The very first Flash, real name Jay Garrick, got his powers from hard water fumes. Yeah, apparently he was a huffer. He kept his identity a secret by constantly vibrating his face. Like this, but not exactly. And his famous Mercury helmet is actually his father's World War I helmet. The first Green Lantern, real name Alan Scott. His ring was magic-based, unlike the science-based Green Lanterns that would come later. His weakness was wood, so if you got a toothpick or a number 2 pencil, you can take this guy out. He would marry 2 of his former supervillains, not at the same time, obviously, and he had a pet dog named Rex the Wonder Dog that would eventually eclipse him and take over his book. That's rough, buddy. The Sandman, real name Wesley Dodds. He's more of a pulp hero, kind of like the Shadow. He had no superpowers, just a gas gun and a gas mask so he didn't put himself to sleep. The idea is he had a gun that shot this gas stuff, so he would go and all the bad guys would be passed out, and he's wearing the gas mask so he doesn't also pass out. He is most definitely not the Lord of Dreams, and in an alternate universe, his death would kick off the epic Kingdom Come. Hey, it's Earth 2 Larry again. Just here to remind you that this will be super important later. Behold, foreshadowing. The Spectre, real name Jim Corrigan. A former police detective that died in the line of duty and was resurrected as the right hand of God. He is the spirit of vengeance. He will straight up kill people with Tales from the Crypt style ironic deaths. Johnny Thunder and the Thunderbolt. Johnny is the 7th son of a 7th son. The Thunderbolt is a genie that lives in the ink of Johnny's ink pen and grants him all sorts of wishes. But of course Johnny has to be very specific about what he wishes. And poor Johnny Thunder would get Alzheimer's later in life. Dr. Midnight, real name Dr. Charles McNider. Yes, he actually is a medical physician. He got reverse vision from a flashbang, which means that when it is very dark out, he can see perfectly fine. But when it is bright out, he can't see at all, which is why he uses special goggles to see during the day. He also has a pet owl named Hootie. Starman, real name Ted Knight, would fight crime with his energy-shooting gravity rod, which also allowed him to fly. In-universe, spent some time working on the atomic bomb, and as a result, spent some time in an asylum because he was wrought with guilt. Wildcat, real name Ted Grant, was a heavyweight boxing champ. He's kind of the fun uncle of the team, and would teach many young heroes how to box, including the second Black Canary and post-crisis Batman. Mr. Terrific, real name Terry Sloan. He was an Olympic-level athlete. He is the grandfather of a gambling-themed supervillain and was all about fair play. Alright, who's next? Oh god, Hourman. Hourman, real name Rex Tyler. By taking a special pill he created called Miraclo, he can gain superhuman strength, but only for an hour. He would eventually become addicted to this pill, and it would absolutely wreck his home life. So remember kids, don't do drugs. The first Hawkman, real name Carter Hall, an archaeologist that discovered he was the reincarnated Egyptian prince Khufu. He uses nth metal wings and weapons. This is a super special metal because all supernatural creatures are weak to it. So if you have nth metal brass knuckles, you can punch a ghost. He gets super complicated as the years go on, so honestly, the less said about him, the better. Black Canary, real name Dinah Drake, originally did not have a supersonic scream. She took Johnny Thunder's place in the Flash books, has a super complicated backstory that honestly isn't worth getting into, and she had a brief affair with Starman. Red Tornado, real name Ma Hunkel, was one of the very first superhero parodies. She didn't have any powers, she was just a mom trying to make a difference in her community. She wore a cooking pot on her head, and later on became the JSA museum curator. So we have the literal right hand of God, a man with a magic ring that can create literally anything, a reincarnated Egyptian Prince Hawk dude, and some lady with a pot on her head. This is why I love this team. Golden Age Wonder Woman. Real name Diana Prince Trevor. So if you ship those two, this is your Wonder Woman. First joined the team as the team's secretary, because casual 1940s sexism. She had a sidekick named Etta Candy, because casual 1940s making fun of fat people. And she was super into bondage, because the creator believed that that's the only way he's going to get boys to buy this book. Golden Age Batman. Real name Bruce Wayne. Used guns early on. Married this world's Catwoman. Eventually became the Gotham City Police Commissioner. And he died from a combination of cancer and fighting a wizard. After doing research for this video, I realized that wizards are the cause of most of these characters' problems. So avoid wizards at all costs. And last but not least, Golden Age Superman. Real name Clark Kent. He became the editor-in-chief of the Daily Star. He had weird, inconsistent superpowers. He actually couldn't fly until they introduced the Fleischer Brothers cartoon. And his favorite food is beef Wellington. Thank you for listening. That concludes the original members of the JSA. Tune in next time where we will deal with the sci-fi nonsense of the Silver Age. Until next time, bye War Bonds.